My name is Jessica Zorge, and I'm the founder of Raptor Tails Rescue of Shrewsbury. Raptor Tails Rescue of Shrewsbury rehabilitates and releases birds of prey. Raptors and birds of prey are exactly the same thing. It's anything that has a talon, so any osprey, eagle, falcon, merlin, kestrel, hawk, anything that has a talon is considered a bird of prey. Smaller birds like robins, orioles, those are considered songbirds. We accept patients from all over the state of Massachusetts, mainly from the public, animal control, Mass Wildlife, Mass Audubon, environmental police, and other wildlife centers to provide long-term care of patients. In the springtime, we start to see babies, and that's when it can get tricky. We do have owls that are on the ground that are requiring care, whether they're injured or ill, but many times people are intervening when it isn't necessary. These birds are out of the nest and learning to fly, and the parents are still around. We want the birds to have the best chance of survival, so we always say, if you care, leave it there. With that in mind too, technology has been really helpful for me, being able to FaceTime and accept text messages and photos to sort of field callers and get them the information that they need, whether they need to come here or leave the animal alone. Common injuries that we see and treat here at Raptor Tails Rescue of Shrewsbury are entanglement in fishing line, soccer nets. We see lots of animals that can get caught in glue traps, gunshot wounds, rodenticide poisoning, which please don't put that out if you're trying to control rodents in your home. That's not the answer, and you're killing a lot of unintended targets. Window strikes, hit by car. There's all sorts of injuries that we see and treat here. I hold a state permit, so that state permit allows me to do more than birds of prey, but right now I'm only focusing on birds of prey. And there are about 200 of us in Massachusetts that do hold these permits as a state rehabilitator. If you want to get a federal permit, you have to log 200 hours with someone that also has a permit, and they have to sign off on everything from your ability to capture a bird safely, handling and restraint, knowing what type of perches it needs, dietary needs and care, medical management. So I went that extra step and got a federal permit. I also hold a certification as a vet tech. I do animal behavior full-time, and then I'm a certified animal control officer as well. I also have an educational permit for a barred owl that is here. It belongs to the federal government. It's not my owl, but I do provide a care. Blue is not injured at all. Blue is imprinted. A well-meaning person found her down on the ground and kept her for about 5 weeks, and she never learned to hunt. She doesn't know how to fend for herself, and she doesn't know that she's an owl. So imprinting, she sees humans as their food source and as a parent. So 100% mentally okay. That's why we say if you find an injured or orphaned young animal on the ground, never attempt to try to raise it on your own. She will never be released back to the wild, but she is welcome to stay here and be cared for. Behind me you see it's actually called a mew. I do call it an enclosure, and it houses raptors. Usually rehabilitators will use it for any birds of prey, and falconers also use this style of enclosure too. So it's very specific to the type of birds that are inside of it. The walls do switch out so we can make each space larger or smaller. Things to consider when working with raptors, one important thing are their feet and talons. They can easily be damaged by not having the right type of substrate and branches. We see medical issues that can be irreparable, so we need to make sure we're meeting all of those requirements. The substrate that's in the bottom, everything is very specific to these birds. And this came all the way from Pennsylvania with the help of many people in this town. We're always looking for volunteers. It's been a little tricky with COVID right now, but anyone who is interested in, we look for transport between going all over the state. If they're looking to log hours themselves to become a rehabilitator, we can provide that, and just basic husbandry and caring for the birds that we have here. We're run 100% on donations and out of pocket. Food is the most expensive thing that we have to provide. Supportive care, medical equipment, medicine, bandaging material, things like that. But food is being the #1 costly item that we have. Anytime we do find a bird, we legally have to release it within 5 miles from the point of capture. So if we have to go to Plimpton or we're going to Lee or Pittsfield, We do have to go all the way out there to make sure it's getting back to where it came from. We don't release any animals here. For more information, you can find Raptor Tails Rescue of Shrewsbury on Facebook.